Hello my friends, and welcome back to our continued blind Let's Play 111 for the PC. My name is the FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today we pick up where we left off just before we got incinerated. Yeah, last episode we got electrocuted and burned to death. Fun day overall, and we're no closer to finding out who the killer is. But I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I would love to know your thoughts on who do you think the killer is. Let me know in the comment section below. But for now, let's jump back into it, shall we? You know, if this was indeed impossible to autosave because you're playing on a hard mode, I don't know how anyone can beat this game on a hard mode unless they know exactly what to do. And matter of fact, I totally discourage anyone from playing on hard mode if that's the case, because part of the choose your own adventure is going back, you know, to the previous page and making a choice. Although I can see why, if you want to play as a permadeath, you know, you play through, then you make different choices, you play through, you make different choices. That could be fun too. I just want to do it. I hope you're all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. Let Henry go. This is his house after all. I looked at Henry. He rose from his chair with determination. He seemed to have calmed down already.
Okay, my house, my problems, and I'll fix it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I would go, but I have a feeling, that it would result in a 3rd-degree sunburn all over my body, even if it's a hurricane.
You need to take a breather. You look like you're about to pass out or something.
Thanks, honey, but I'm responsible for what's going on. It's up to me to fix it.
I should probably start every episode by just looking over the characters really quick. And I'm sorry I didn't think about that, but we have Henry, Renata, Amanda, Agatha, Dana, Linda, who is dead, Amelia, Alexander, Justin, who is possibly dead. I think we may have been the last one to see him. I was going back through my recording, and we were definitely with him before he disappeared. And then we have Martin and Robert, who was electrocuted. So far, 2, if not 3 of the 11, 6, 9, 12. We have to count ourselves. So 25% of us are basically dead or missing. Quite possibly more if Henry gets the 3rd degree. I looked at Martin, who stood up determinedly from his chair and headed for the exit.
Let me go with you.
That's not a bad idea. I wish I had someone who went with me.
You don't think I can do it?
Although if Martin goes and one of them dies, does that make the other one really suspicious?
What are we waiting for?
Henry and Martin put on the raincoats, and in a few seconds they left the restaurant. I felt kind of embarrassed I had directed them there. In fact, we could have had a quiet night without lights. The heck? Okay, that was kind of random. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a map before, but look at this. I think we can actually, oh, it tells us where we're going. Very, very cool. Vivi, thank you once again for your amazing work here. If I do want to say something, I think there's a little bit of bug with the options, because every single time I had to start a game, I had to redo the audio, because the audio resets itself every time I load. But besides that, I'm really enjoying this. Let's see. Let's go back to the map. I don't want to go in the garage, the kitchen, the basement here, or should we talk to him first? We should probably talk to this guy first. Alexander. Alexander, as if he had not moved since the terrible events began. He sat silently looking out the window. The rain was pounding the ground and the rooftops, and it was keeping him in a gloomy mood. He turned around to see my shadow in the reflection. I had something to say, and I said the very first thing that came to my head. The very first thing that came to my head is talk to him. This is kind of weird because if I press this... Oh, I actually did talk to him that time. Creepy night, huh? Alexander looked at me with surprise.
Just don't remind me of my military service, okay?
You know, if anyone could have pulled off all these killings, someone who had military experience could definitely be on a list of someone who could do these killings. But then again, I don't want to think of military service people snapping as my first go-to because I have a lot of family members who are military and they're very honorable people. Yeah, I'm just saying he's skilled enough to do it. I'm not blaming him or suspecting him. I suspect all of them, but I don't really suspect him in particular for that reason. Okay, and I wasn't going to.
I'm sick and tired of being asked questions. I don't know what they expect me to do. Apparently, that I'll smear mud on my face, make a bowstring out of my hair, and go hunt a maniac.
Yeah, go MacGyver / Rambo on this guy. But they would have made a movie about you. I couldn't resist making a joke about the obvious illusion of Rambo. Hey, there we go. I haven't even seen the movie. I just figured that's something that Rambo would probably be doing.
Only if Pastimus.
He turned to the window again and rested his forehead against the freezing glass.
In the present situation, things are much more complicated than in the army. At least there you know exactly who your enemy is.
That's a good point. The maniac is usually irrational. The secret enemy is the most dangerous.
Now the marathon runners will come back. They'll be live for us. Maybe the weather will calm down a bit, and at least we'll be able to look for traces.
Maybe the weather will calm down. I decided not to bother Alex anymore. Yeah, the weather is definitely playing against us. I had something to say and I said the first thing that came to my head. What were you doing in the blackout? How tall are you about? That's not what I said.
What are you doing? Take me for a fool? It's not my trail.
I had something to say and I said the first thing that came to my head. Okay, are there anyone else around here? Okay, let's look at the map. Let's go by the map. I kind of want to go to the garage. Yeah. Probably should have stayed before I did that. There we go. Okay. Such cars can only be afforded by wealthy people. Although there is a belief that the size of this car is not so much for convenience, but for overcompensation. The comparison is comical. But if you believe this logic, then all rich people have complexes, which they compensate by buying yachts, big houses, and cars. In any case, I can't earn for one yet. At least not in an earnest way. I don't know, I have no money. I work with young people, and that doesn't pay well at all. But I love my job because, you know, it's awesome working with the future generation. Just don't get paid much for it. I don't think I could go anywhere. Yeah, I can't go anywhere here. But I can go to the front door or the smoking lounge. Let's check the front door. I went outside. The wind seemed to have picked up even more, and the raindrops were falling at practically right angles. Good thing I had the good sense to sit tight instead of going out for fuel. I couldn't see a dang thing beyond 2 meters. I glanced toward the smoking room. Linda was still lying in the rain. Traces of blood had washed away without a trace. Now it looked as if she was just sleeping in the rain. It all gave me an unpleasant gag reflex. I don't want to stay outside anymore. Maybe I should go back to the heat. Let's check around. I really like this game so far, though. It is pretty awesome. The film noirness of it, the mystery behind it, the choose your own adventure novel style. I mean, it's really good. And the music isn't bad at all. I mean, I haven't brought it up yet because nothing has like stood out about it, but it doesn't detract anything, and it adds this sort of atmosphere. Like right now, I feel a little bit more tense because of the beat of the rhythm. I examine the body. Her heels scattered in different directions. Oh, I just noticed the giant dots on the screen. Oh, very cool. There are footprints here. Looks like they belong to a man with a small foot. Maybe the killer left them. There's a lot of blood. She was killed over an hour ago, just as everyone left the restaurant. There's something here. Is that a knife? A kitchen knife covered in blood. It's gotta be the murder weapon. Really? Stab wounds. She was stabbed multiple times. A professional one had done that. He'd have killed with one blow. Okay. Let's go back to the garage. Kind of scary just standing there like that, by the way. It's like the game loads and he's like the first thing that loads. Basement. Hi, kitty cat. This didn't happen by accident. Someone deliberately set a trap here. The window was open from the inside. One of us did it. I like how I can see the rain, by the way. It's the small things that make me happy. The fact they actually took the time to program that in is superb. Okay, let's go back upstairs. I don't see anything else. I wish those highlighted things would appear in every area that you're searching. Kitchen. The cold and darkness outside the window kept me awake. It was only by the fireplace that I felt safe. Looking at the embers, I had an interesting idea. What if I could heat up some food and invite the others to the fireplace table? I grabbed a candle from the table and strode toward the kitchen. Holding the candle in front of me like a sword, I knocked on the door. Perhaps Renata had left the room, and in the darkness, I hadn't noticed. I went into the kitchen and started to light up the shelves and countertops like a hostess. There were apples, there was some bread, but I didn't notice any serious food. The pot was on the stove, and before I could lift the lid, Renata called out to me.
What's up with you? Why are you out here all by yourself? You could have even waited for me?
There's a lot of things here. Speak with Renata. I knocked, but no one answered.
You're hungry, huh? I just got back from the garage, and you show up.
She seemed to like that. Renata put the cardboard box on the table. She took a knife from the wall and opened the top with a slight movement of the blade. The box contained chips. Apparently, Henry was buying them for a restaurant as a snack. I looked at Renata as if she were frozen, staring at the knife in her hand. Don't you have any normal food? Renata came out of her stupor, smiled at me, and replied,
Ain't no food here, but we got plenty of booze. If you wanna get late, go to the bar.
Nah, we'd like to keep my mind clear.
Yep, we could all use some clarity up in here. What's up with you? Why are you out here all by yourself? You could have
Ask
been
about the
waiting
knife.
for me?
When do you think the knife went missing?
I've been thinking about this for half an hour now. I don't lock the kitchen door because I gotta move back and forth all the time. Who knows when the knife went missing? Oh yeah, now I remember. Emilia stopped by for a quick chat earlier.
Well, I didn't see Amelia come in here.
That was in the afternoon, before the dates even started. Emilia came to the restaurant before everyone else. Walked back there, couldn't find her place. So I invited her to my kitchen. I thought, why should she hang around when she can have tea?
What's your height? Were you in the smoke room today?
Nah, I quit smoking a while ago. I used to smoke like a chimney, but one day I had enough. Haven't left the place all day, been working my butt off thought.
I can't smoke. And when I say I can't smoke, I literally mean I can't smoke. I have respiratory issues, and if I'm around any type of environment that has air that's been polluted in some way, I just start coughing nonstop and I can't breathe. So I've never ever even considered smoking because I know if I do, I'm not going to be able to breathe, and that would be bad. I'm not condemning anyone who does smoke. I'm just saying that's why I never smoked. And it kind of sucks because I can't be around anyone who smokes either. So if there's someone smoking in my vicinity, I kind of had to leave. And I'm not the type of person that wants to go up to that person and say, excuse me, I can't breathe if you smoke. Because, I mean, that person has the right to do that. So It's always kind of an awkward situation. I'm pretty sure there's someone who knows what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's just go down the list. Ask about the murder. Renata, have you seen who Linda left with?
Nah, I wasn't paying attention. Justin was giving me a hard time and ordering drinks like there's no tomorrow.
So you were in the restaurant at the time of the murder.
I was in the kitchen and the restaurant at the same time. Multitasking like a boss.
You're doing a great job with that. Music seems a little loud in here. Let me turn this down a bit. Have you seen the missing person? Did you see which way Justin went? She did not like that at all.
Nah, I hope he just lost or something. But what if he had something to do with the girl that got killed?
I thought that too, but she was gone before you went looking for her with us. Now, I will say, since Justin's gone and missing, that kind of gives him the opportunity to kill freely, because none of us know where he is. Did you notice anything? Did you see something strange before the lights went out?
Nah, I've been busy all day. Didn't notice anything unusual.
Okay, leave. Okay. Don't see anything else to click on. Alright, let's drop a save here. And go upstairs, I guess. Okay, 2 doors and then up further upstairs. To an office. Left is always right. Start with room 2. As I approached the room, I briefly knocked on the door. Almost immediately on the other side of the door came a soft voice.
Who's there?
Hi, Agatha. This is you.
Oh, and why did you come?
I just wanted to talk to you. Agatha opened the door for me. I like Agatha. She's cool. Oh, she's not the killer. As she stepped over the threshold, she immediately locked the door. Really? Huh. Very suspicious. But she let me in. That's good. Talk to her. How are you?
I'm fine. No need to worry about me.
You don't look it.
Renata just came in. She wasn't wearing any makeup and she asked me what it feels like to be electrocuted. She
Yeesh.
wanted me to give her all in the details.
Really? You know what it's like to be electrocuted? She's not herself after what happened, but you gotta have kept that conversation going. I'm sure you know that in detail.
It may be amusing to you, but not to me. Tonight reminds me of my first night shift. It's a terrible feeling to think you know everything, but in reality, you know nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this game. I know absolutely nothing about what's going on.
You are itching to do something, but what can we do? We are just sitting here, waiting, hoping that everything works out. We have no control over the situation. We are at the mercy of circumstance.
We ourselves create these circumstances. We are always slaves of circumstances. Oh, wasn't there a famous philosopher who said something like that about being a slave to circumstance? Hold on, let me see if I can. I'm pretty sure I've heard that saying before. Nope. I can't find it off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure there's some sort of famous philosopher that said, you know, that we are a slave to our circumstances. What should we say though? Should we agree with her or should we be more optimistic? I always like to be more optimistic. We create these, but then if we say we create these circumstances, that means we created the deaths that happened. Shoot. Number 2.
I don't want
Dang
to believe
it!
it. Otherwise, the choice doesn't make sense at all.
She hated that. Darn it! As she said to the darn it! God, I'm so bad at this game. Find out she went to the kitchen today. Did you go into Vanata's kitchen today?
Yes, I went to see her, but after the murder, I needed a glass of water.
As she stepped over the threshold, I know Vivi's laughing at me and that Vivi's like, Flightless, you always choose the wrong thing. I know I always choose the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Ask about her height. How tall are you about? I'm gonna ask that question when she's like that, especially since she's wearing ballet shoes and they're not stained. I'm not going to ask her that question when she's like that. As she said, okay, so I guess we didn't ask her. Did you notice anything suspicious? At least this time I didn't get a negative for doing something stupid. Do you see anything suspicious before the lights went out?
I was sitting by the fireplace, not paying much attention to the others. Henry was going out into the garage. There I could see clearly.
Okay, leave. How many people actually like me here? You kind of like me. You tolerate me. You love me. I mean, this seems more good. Oh, I didn't even notice this down here. Oh, look at this. Interrogation reveals. She states that she was in ability to know the girl's murder without leaving it. She remembered that Amelia came to her. She thinks Justin is a killer. She claims she did not go outside. She was in the sight of everyone the moment the lights went out. She did not see anything. Only Henry seemed suspicious to her. She went outside for a short while but found nothing. That's very suspicious. She was in the parking lot but she saw nothing. She did not go into the kitchen before the murder. She blames herself. I didn't ask her about the shoes. She has no idea who would do such a thing. He was in the parking lot before that. He was spending time with Martin. He does not know where Justin went. He was inside of everyone staying in the hall near the fireplace. He tried to laugh it off, claims that he does not know who murdered. He does not know where Justin went missing. This is really suspicious. He stayed at the restaurant. That is suspicious. He did not see anyone as he walked to the pier. He says he wanted to look at the sinking ships. Yeah, but he's dead, so... Oh, no, I don't want to go upstairs. Go back downstairs. Quick. I want to go to the office. The room is closed. I wonder what's behind this door. Really? Dang it! Oh well. Let's go back upstairs then. I guess it was fate. Hi, kitty. How you doing? I wish I could pet the kitty. Okay, maybe I did pet the kitty. Ooh, what's this? From here, you have a beautiful view of the lighthouse and its surroundings. Okay. 4. As I approached Amanda's room, I just knocked them away. I wish I want to see Amanda last. No one answered? I tried to pull the knob, but the door wouldn't budge. I guess Amanda, like a lot of people, locked herself in and fell asleep. It's been a rough day. It's not hard to understand. Really? Ah, no! I want to go to room 5! I guess that was Linda's room. She may have not been there. When I came downstairs, I sat down at one of the tables and clung my gaze at the burning candle and immersed myself in my thoughts. My gaze fell on the symmetrically arranged napkins. From my deep childhood, I was reminded of school crafts, followed by a funny idea. I mean, if you've seen my Professor Layton playthrough, you know I'm not good with logic puzzles. Like, I'm not good with logic puzzles. So when you have a murder mystery, I'm not good with this. It's just, I'm not. A few minutes later, I was walking down the hall to Amanda's room, twirling a white rose out of a soft napkin. For some reason, I wanted to please Amanda, to see a smile on her face. After all, at a young age, she had already suffered enough fear. I wanted to be close to her. Coming to the right door, I lightly knocked and waited. Nobody answered. I tried to pull the handle, but the door wouldn't budge. Amanda must have locked herself in like everyone else and gone to bed. Well, it had been a quiet day, so I would have locked myself in too. I won't break the door over such a trifle, will I? I wandered around the corridor a bit and decided to leave this idea behind. I sat down at one of the tables in the hall, considering my creation. Began to immerse myself in my thoughts. Amanda, she is such a sweet, bright girl. First time I met her, I was fascinated by her carefree smile, her directness. Oh wow, we're already back here? Okay. Well, now I can possibly go to that room 5. As I approached Dana's room, I knocked on the door. A few seconds later, I heard a quiet voice.
Who?
This is Hugh. After a short pause, the door opened and Dana gestured for me to come into the room. The dim candlelight illuminated the luxurious and my minimalist view apartment. Dana draped the windows and I locked the door. There was only one bed in the room, but the whole platoon could fit in it. Yeah, this is a spacious room. They must have made them big on purpose, in case of a bad marriage, so you see me sleeping together, the kids think everything's fine. But in reality, there's a wide gulf between you, the Chinese pillow wall running down the middle of it. I smiled at her. talk to Dana. Dana, how are you?
Fatigue, stress, dozy.
Lie down. I know you can't sleep after what happened, but stress takes a lot of energy. Better get some rest.
And you?
Dana looked at me sweetly. Was that a question or call to action, or was just wondering what I was going to do? I will guard your peace. I will not bother you. Oh, she did not like that. Dana, without further ado, lay down on the bed with her clothes on and closed her eyelids. For decency, I stood for a while longer than I said. Okay, I should have chose that last because I didn't get a chance to ask her anything, and all of a sudden the room shook. Suddenly there was an explosion in the street, so strong that even the windows trembled. I was afraid for Dana. An explosion? Because of the lack of light, the guest room was in terrible disarray. A large figure, apparently belonging to Alexander, was illuminating the scene with a flashlight.
Are you okay?
What happened? I think so.
My god, what was that?
That wasn't the Molotov cocktail, was it?
The explosion. And it looks like it happened at the pier.
What about the other?
I'll go and check. Who's with me?
And I still hate that I didn't get a chance to ask all those questions. I asked her the wrong thing first, and I got her to hate me more. Yeah, got her to hate me more. Okay, let me save, because every time I go someplace, I end up dead. It's not even discuss. I'm going with you.
I don't mind. Gathering.
But I'm a doctor. I can't let you go alone.
Then all three of us go. The more the merrier.
Nah, you ain't going nowhere without me. I got you back.
All right, we'll all go. Giant picnic. And the commotion, we were sharply divided into two factions. The first wanted to expect to see the explosion, and the second to stay warm by the fireplace. I took the last of the remaining raincoats, and with the already familiar action zipping up, we were gone. We rushed to a place. Oh yeah, there it is. It's amazing how, I mean, that's how hot the fire is, that the rain is doing nothing to it. We rushed to a place where the light of a burning building cut through the darkness of the night. The rain was pouring down, and the wind howled so hard it clogged our ears, but the fire still refused to go out. The fuel stored in the barrels partially spilled over the area. Mingling with the puddles, it was like a biblical scene from hell. Streams of flame were spreading around the perimeter of the former building, trying to expand to encompass a larger area. Oh, man. It's like right here. It's just... I mean... This is... It's like every single time that we would die, someone else dies in our place. Alexander called out to me and pointed with his finger into the fire. There in the light of the flames, under the rubble, was a charred body and decayed clothes. Do you think this is Henry? Yeah, we're not gonna know, like, who actually died, or if they both died, or where the other one is. Where's Martin?
I think so. Or rather, what's left of it.
No, not Henry.
Smoking is bad.
Especially that kind of smoke.
But how? How did this happen?
Renata rushed to him, collapsed on her knees in a vain attempt to do something resembling a heart massage. Her attempts at resuscitation quickly gave to inconsolable sobs. Tears rolling down her cheeks and streams emerged with the raindrops. Now, I will say something, and I know you may not like this, but Amanda was not present in any of this. Remember, she had her door locked and we didn't know where she was. It's very possible that the door was locked and then she went down the side and she came over here and did this. So I know you look sweet, I know you look lovely, and I know you really like me for some reason, despite everyone else not liking me. That should be my first red flag, but Amanda is definitely one of the most suspicious people on my list right now. Renata rushed to him, collapsed on her knees in an attempt to do something resembling a heart massage. Okay, I think I've read this. Agatha approached Renata, but somehow tried to calm her down.
Renata? So this is your fuel warehouse?
Renata calmed down a little, barely speaking.
This ain't our spot. Fishermen stash their gear here and keep gas for their boats. Henry hooks them up.
I see. When sending a man in a storm for gasoline, it's yours. But as soon as there are embers left of it, you don't know it.
Stop it. She's not responsible. Show some compassion.
Gasoline doesn't just ignite on its own, you know? A facility like this should have proper safety measures in place, like fire suppression system and ventilation to prevent fires and explosions.
Yes, I agree. But we can't blame Renata for this. No one could have foreseen this.
And we're short. I didn't have time to finish my sentence. One of the supporting beams tilted and fell, bringing down the last of the surviving walls and causing a shower of sparks. We moved away from the burning house. But I only see Henry. Where is Martin?
Where did the second one go?
I hope he wasn't harmed in the explosion. Maybe he returned and avoided it somehow.
Maybe he was thrown by the explosion. Let's do a quick sweep of the area, but stay alert and stick together. We don't know how much explosive material is stored here, so watch your step and avoid the fires.
We scattered around the building, but of course we found no trace or hint of the cause of the fire. And the puddles, we came across muddy gasoline stains and blasted planks. I stepped a dozen meters away from the building to try to catch my breath from the fumes that had entered my lungs. You know, I just had a wild theory. And I don't know if this is true, and I don't want to be told if this is true or not. But what if the murderer in every game that you play is actually based on the girl that picks you or you pick? But then again, there's the option not to pick the girl, right? There may be an ending for that too, though. So because we picked Amanda, Amanda's the killer. But if we picked Agatha, Agatha would be the killer. If we picked Dana, Dana would be the killer. And if we don't pick any of them, maybe it's one of the guys. Or one of these two. I don't know. Don't tell me. Like I said, I don't want to know, because obviously that would be a huge spoiler. I'm just trying to think how this game may have multiple variations over who may die first or who may be the killer. I don't even know if there are possibility of multiple killers. While I know there's only one true killer in every playthrough, it's just a matter of how you get to that end point. Whatever we do, if we do decide to play through this game again, whoever the killer is in this game, that's the girl that I need to get close to in the next one, just to see if there's something different there. I stepped a dozen meters away from the building, catch my breath from the fumes that had entered my lungs. And a puddle half a meter from me, I noticed Martin. He was lying face up and obviously unconscious. I rushed to him, called out to the others. Renata checked his pulse, and he was alive, but badly disfigured. That may be a ruse. I mean, it is kind of hardcore that he would hurt himself to cast his suspicions elsewhere. But it is still very possible that he could have done this to himself. Or maybe he didn't know how bad the fire would be. We hastily constructed something like a stretcher out of sticks and raincoats. I'm suspicious of everyone. Alexander's experience in these situations was as good as it gets. The rain was gradually dealing with the fire. Renata made a suggestion to take Henry's body away so one would be left out in the rain. But Alexander rightly remarked that there was almost nothing left of the corpse. It would be better to leave it here. But I got back quickly. I want to take a look around. They clearly did not share my enthusiasm. Only Renata did not want to leave Henry, or rather, his corpse.
We grab the stretcher and go back. And you, when you realize you can't get the corpse out from under the rubble, come up to us.
They clearly did not share my enthusiasm. Alexander waved his hand at me and gave away his position.
Explosion is always an explosion. What are you going to investigate here? We have to save a man. We'll get the stretcher and go back. And you, join us where you're done playing detective.
Yeah, someone needs to look around. I mean, I understand you need to save the guy, but you guys can take him. Someone else needs to look around to try to save someone else from dying in the future. I moved closer to the body, maneuvering between puddles of smoldering rain. Like Alexander said, there was practically nothing left of him. His clothes were burned, his skin so charred it was impossible to tell who he was. As I tried to lift the body, I realized it was permanently crushed by the remains of the building. Renata watched my attempts, wiping away her tears. A second later, I noticed her heading silently toward the restaurant behind the rest of the group. I sighed heavily and looked around. There were tools scattered around, boxes and pieces of metal and debris from the building. In the chaos, I tried to find something useful, but there was nothing. My attention was drawn to the empty whiskey bottle lying behind one of the collapsed walls. The unopened evidence with the wooden cork was lying derelict in the dirt. Someone had dropped it. I looked around, but found nothing else suspicious. It was time to go back. What was that? An empty whiskey bottle. Unopened. So that very well means that someone knocked out Martin, hit him over the head with the whiskey bottle. I mean, it's not like movies where the bottle breaks when you break it over someone's head. As Mythbusters showed, if you take a bottle and you break it on someone's head, you're more likely to break the person's head than the bottle. So this could be evidence of someone knocking out Martin. I did not tell the others what I had found, for they were well ahead of me. I caught up with the stretcher bearers, so I only crossed the slope and went out on the rocky path. I helped carry the casualty the rest of the way to the restaurant. What that does mean, though, is I could probably eliminate Martin from the killer pool, because it seems like he was knocked out. It seems like it. When we got back to the restaurant, Amelia shined a flashlight on us. They were teary-eyed from the bright light, but it was obvious that everyone was glad we were back. And how much they changed their faces when I and Alexander dragged the stretcher with Martin. What had happened was clear to them without words. What had happened reeked of deja vu effect. I finally threw off my drenched raincoat, and I noticed that the temperature of the room had dropped noticeably. The fireplace couldn't handle such a large room, and the heating must have depended on electricity. The general silence was interrupted by Agatha.
Can someone please bring me the first aid kit? We need to move him to the room and tend to his injuries immediately.
Henry had one upstairs.
I rushed to the second floor, trying not to break my legs. The door to Henry's office was unlocked. Now it's unlocked. And I found the medicine cabinet pretty quickly. I slipped a little as I flipped the stairs, losing my balance, but I managed to stay on my feet without falling. The guys had moved Martin to a separate room on the first floor in the meantime. Agatha wasted no time in conjuring up the casualty, and we withdrew so as not to disturb her. Amelia immediately began her interrogation.
So, how long are we going to keep quiet? I suppose Henry is dead?
Yes. The warehouse burned down, along with the fuel for the generator and...
After a short pause, Alexander added,
Yes. The warehouse burned down, along with the fuel for the generator and, along with him, also Henry. Martin blessed threw him aside. It's a miracle he survived there.
How did he die? Burned to death? Horrible.
I mean, that's the thing. This could all be an act. It's a really good act if it's an act, but it could all be an act.
I think he was killed instantly by the explosion.
Dana did say it very tactfully, though it was on point. He must have died instantly. Oh, he just burned to death. Agatha was all stained. The sleeves of her snow-white shirt were completely covered in dirt and soot. She immersed in her thoughts, seemed to be calculating variations. And we were just waiting for her to tell us what happened to the victim.
I believe he will pull through.
It's possible.
He has severe burns, but thankfully his organs aren't affected. He must have been outside the house when the explosion happened, which was fortunate for him.
Oh yeah, if it was inside, he'd be... Yeah.
This isn't an accident, is it? Again?
No, it's definitely not.
It is. I don't consider it an accident. It's more like a clear pattern.
Look at Amanda shifting her eyes to Alexander.
No, it was definitely a setup. And frankly, I have clear and firm claims. And since Henry has already departed, I will voice them to you.
Yeah, please do. Alexander turned to Renata, who was wiping her head with the towel.
Murders not just happen in your positions, but with their help. The generator, that fuel explodes.
Before we knew it, Renata flew up to Alexander and slapped him with a resounding slap. That's aggressive.
I killed Henry too? Don't you get it? You're stupid or something.
I quickly got between them. Amelia held Alexander back for good measure. Did he actually blame her? Oh, Alexander turned to Renata. Okay. So he turned to her and then said this. Okay, I can see why.
Do not swear.
You think I'm a telepathic murderer or something, do ya? Like I can do it from the kitchen.
Perhaps you have planned everything in advance.
What you trying to pull, fool?
I don't think it's Renata. Suddenly Renata pushed me away and began frantically gathering up her scattered towels around the restaurant. We could only hear her cursing to herself in Spanish or Portuguese. I'd always confused those languages.
Alexander, would you like to apologize?
Stop it already. It's scary enough as it is.
Alexander, ignoring the others, wandered toward the fireplace, sat down on the couch, and stretched out his arms toward the fire.
Maybe we're all dead.
Dana said it frighteningly. I remember a couple of movies with a storyline where all the weirdness was explained by purgatory, in which all the heroes were cyclically tormented after death. Really? Yeesh. It's horrifying. But maybe it could be true. I just don't think it is. I like how they say that though, because I'm pretty sure there's someone who's playing this game who's saying, oh, they're all dead and this doesn't matter. The fact that they say it makes you doubt that that's what's happening. Apparently that's what she meant, but I don't believe in that kind of plot or purgatory.
The impossible can become possible. It just requires more time to figure out.
That's exactly what I want. This is where you were at the time of the explosion?
Amanda is burning a hole in Alexander's back. We turn our eyes to Amanda and Amelia.
Why are you looking at me like that? Amanda, where were you when the explosion occurred? Can you tell us?
Yeah, she's my prime suspect.
And I am, in bed, there.
Wait, we can't prove that. Amanda extended her finger upward, pointing to the upper floors.
You were just sleeping.
Amanda nodded vigorously. Her hands trembled violently as she tried to adjust her glasses, which had slid down slightly. Alexander smirked. He clearly did not believe her justification. Then he shifted his gaze toward Amelia.
Okay, where have you been?
Hey, I don't have to report at all. I was in the shower. See, my hair is still wet.
Well, all our hairs are wet. We just got back from the explosion.
I'm sorry, but our hair is also wet.
Exactly.
So that doesn't serve as an alibi.
See, Agatha and I are on the same page.
Yes, I see, but I haven't been outside.
And how can we be sure of that?
The rest of our clothes? No one has answered this question. Suspecting it was good, but it doesn't help. I mean, the rest of our clothes aren't wet. Like, all our clothes should be wet, right?
Now we know that we need to be vigilant and stick together. We can't go anywhere alone.
We have to stick together.
Well, Martin and Henry stuck together, and look at them now. Agree, you need to be in front of everyone not to disappear from sight. Wasn't obvious before. 1. 2 seems kind of harsh. No one reacted to my remark apparently because they felt the same way, yeah.
Look, I don't know about you, but at this rate, I will die of cold and hunger faster than I will die of a maniac.
Don't tempt the fates.
I'm hungry too.
We need to be concerned about warmth and sustenance. On an empty stomach, my head doesn't work at all. Renata, excuse me, but would you mind cooking something?
Alright, whatever. You're right. Let me whip something up real quick. Think I got some soup left. Hand me a flashlight, would ya?
Renata took hold of the flashlight and with a nod of her head asked me to go with her. We went into the kitchen where there was already a candle on the table that dimly illuminated the room. Hunger was especially strong in this place. Renata started looking for something on the shelves, and I felt like the fifth wheel. I needed to fuse this situation somehow. Forgive them for these attacks, they were just very scared. Why did you hit him? Wow, why did you hit him? Dang! That is... Who are we talking to specifically here? I think we're talking to Renata, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's go to 1. 2 is
I don't
harsh.
know what came over me. Guess it all just hit me at once, and this accusation just set me off. I'm pissed. You get me? Me. I ain't killed nobody. But I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I wanna take somebody's out. What woman ain't had that through, right? Damn. What we got here? Pass me a light.
Renata handed me a flashlight and began to open the doors again. Alternately in search of food. In the cauldron on the stove, soup leftovers were splashing on the bottom. May I finish the soup?
Alright, let me heat it up real quick. Can't have nobody overhearing us.
About what?
It's about who, not what. You get me? The killer's one of them. Mark my words.
I believe it. Although, I'm very gullible. Do you have a guess?
Hold up. I ain't jumping to conclusions, but this what I seen. First thing first. The first girl got shanked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The same knife that went missing from my kitchen was the one used. Ain't no one else been in here except for you, me, Henry, and Amelia.
Amelia. We don't have any information on her. It's possible. I'm not doubting that.
Did you see how confident Amelia was in disarming that E-trap in the basement? She did it so confidently, as if she knew how everything worked. Besides, where did she go before the lights went out?
Again, she makes a good point.
Now, she's saying she was in the shower. Her room overlooks the fire escape. You get me? That's why her hair was wet. She would have walked out and come back and through the front door, and we wouldn't have even known.
Also a good point. Do you think this girl is capable of pulling off something like this? Well, do you think anyone is capable of pulling off something like this? The answer is no, but someone has.
Listen, honey. A woman's look only show what she wanna show. I had 4 jobs and 3 homes at her age.
Wow. Renata turned out the burner, poured the soup into a plate, added some cute breadcrumbs, stirred, and handed it to me.
You eating bread?
Bread? I've always preferred to eat without bread. Soup had such aroma that I didn't even wait for it to cool. I don't know, French onion soup? Beautiful. I tried to taste the spices, salt, rosemary, saffron, and something else. I was pungent, sour, very unconventional for soup. The flavor already picked up rapidly and suddenly transformed into searing corrosive pain in my insides. Wait, did she just kill me? I choked and fell on all fours. Wait, what? I realized with horror that I couldn't breathe in. The pain spread higher, cramped my mouth, hitting my nose. The last unbearable, painful flash pierced the back of my head and was over. Are you kidding me? I mean, this doesn't mean that she killed me, though. Someone could have came in here and poisoned the soup earlier, right? The end. Wow. Poisoned. I did not see that one coming. Did not see that one coming. Someone will eat it later.
Oh snap. One more bowl left. Can't let it go to waste. Alright. You, grab everyone plates and let's put these tables together. Chop chop.
I was in the middle of a conversation with my mother. If she was in the middle of a conversation with my mother. She's been through so much today, it's going to blow everyone's mind. I decided to approach Amanda. Oh, look at the little kitty. Amanda was sitting by, waiting for me by the fireplace. As soon as I approached, she jumped up and pointed at the dancing flames with her finger. She helped me take off my soaked jacket. We sat down next to each other, pushing the couch close to the fireplace. Aren't you clothed? Can I get a blanket on top? At least wrap yourself up?
Oh, no. I am more shaken by what's going on than by the temperature. It's so scary. Everything inside is freezing, and I was so frightened. I thought the house was going to collapse.
Are you talking about the explosion?
Yeah, I was upstairs. I fell asleep. Do you know what I dreamt? You'll never guess.
Unicorns and rainbows? In my opinion, even if I didn't answer, she will tell.
I dreamed that I was in a castle, and in this castle there was an evil Hydra-like monster, and it had many heads.
I mean, it was fantasy, so at least I got the genre right. Yeah, I knew it.
And I was like, I grabbed my sword and started chopping them off. But no matter how hard they cut, the head still grew back. And then you came. Yeah, I dreamt about you. And you wanted to save me. And then all of a sudden, boom! And I woke up and everything was shaking. I thought it was an earthquake, and I was about to be hit by the ceiling.
No, it wasn't. It was an explosion outside.
Yeah, I know. I already figured it out. You think it's an accident?
No, I think not. I looked around carefully to make sure we weren't overheard and continued in a half whisper. I noticed this. Linda was literally stabbed like a needle pad. Doesn't sound like the act of a professional. The murderer seems hysterical, as if the perpetrator himself was afraid as the victim. Or maybe he's just crazy and was enjoying himself in this way. And by of course, they're using the generic he to symbolize both genders. One of the knives is missing from the kitchen and might have been used to stab Linda. As I recall, Renata mentioned that Amelia had tea with her in the afternoon. Other than them, me and Henry, no one else visited the kitchen, although Renata might have been excused from the kitchen. I found the knife at the murder scene, the one that was missing from the kitchen. As I recall, Renata mentioned that Amelia had tea with her this afternoon. Other than them, me and Henry, no one else visited the kitchen, though Renata may have been absent from the kitchen. The body was left with small footprints near it. Theoretically, we could cross Henry, Justin, and Alexander off the list of suspects, but the footprints could have been left behind before. Robert died in the basement. Before the power went out. Where was Amelia? I didn't see her. We'll have to find out. Amelia was out in the hall when the explosion occurred. I distinctly remember that the others had gone downstairs. The bang was such that even the dead would have jumped up, and she claimed she was taking a shower in peace. Plus, it was her window that overlooked the fire escape, which means she could have gotten in and out by bypassing the front doors and gone unnoticed. After the explosion at the pier, I found an unopened bottle. I think they could have opened it, so they threw it there. Yeah, it's not much. All the available evidence is circumstantial. You can't just take a man and accuse him. The girl was silent. She was waiting for some kind of conclusion from me. While I was thinking about who could have done all these horrific murders, the other people had already gathered around the table in the center of the hall. I noticed that they were looking at us with expectation, as if we had to solve some problem. Realizing what they wanted from us, we reluctantly got up from the sofa and they helped move it closer to the table so everyone could fit. It was so quiet, only the faint crackle of the fireplace and the sound of the fire drumming against the windows created an atmosphere that reminded us of our vulnerability. Oh, look at this awesome picture right here. This is really, really cool. Yeah, look at that picture. Beautiful artwork. The candles dimly illuminated the table, revealing our impromptu dinner. There were cuts of meats, cheese, and beer nuts. There were packets of chips mixed in with the sweets. I didn't see any real food as I know it, which was understandable since it was more of a bar than a restaurant or a diner. I noticed Alexander uncorking a bottle of wine and pouring it into glasses. Oh well, a few sips won't do me any good, which is weird because at the beginning of the game I think they called this a restaurant. But then again, he may have called it a restaurant, and what does he know? Oh, I can talk to people. Take a place near them. Sort of want to sit near her, because I'm most suspicious of her. I see like they want me to sit over here, right? I'm gonna sit next to her. Now I'm gonna take the place next to Agatha. I need to take my place too. There's no truth in feet.
What unhealthy food. Thank you, Renata. It's like I'm back in the school cafeteria.
What? I thought you are a schoolgirl.
I mean, she's a doctor. If she wanted to stab someone, you'd think she would know where to stab someone. I feel probably most safest around her.
No, I already passed all the exams.
I'll tell you what, anything beats an MRE.
Actually, I kind of trust Alexander too.
Let's eat while we still can.
Don't eat the soup.
What about a whole meal, though?
I looked at Renata questioningly. She shook her head with a sad face and answered.
Damn. Unfortunately, we only got one bowl of soup left. I can fix something else through. You want some?
Oh, this sucks, because if we ask for the soup, we die. If someone else asks for the soup, they die. Ah! Well, I know I can't ask for the soup. I decided I would do without hot food, though I'm freezing to death. It's more important for the girls to eat something warm and warm up. As last resort, I'll eat what I have.
Do you have anything besides e-rations? I'm feeling really chilly and could use something warm.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
When I left for the kitchen, we continued to share food from the table.
Guys, pass me please the cookies and that candy over there.
Amanda pointed her finger at what she wanted. They all lay next to Agatha, and she shook them and handed them to Amanda. You see, that's the thing, though. She doesn't want the soup. Maybe she knows the soup is poison.
I prefer corn tortillas over flour ones. They're better.
While Amanda opened the package of cookies, the others pounced on the slices, showing a vicious appetite. Alexander used his slices of cheese, sausage, and bread, made himself a semblance of a sandwich, which he washed down with the wine. One could see the experience of eating such a meal. I do that all the time. Like, when I have cheese and crackers, I'll make little sandwiches out of them. Soon Renata returned and placed a hot soup in front of Agatha. No, don't do it, Agatha! I like you, Agatha!
Delicious. Everything would be good for you. You don't care about your stomach at all. And what about your shape? What's this?
Amanda answered without chewing.
You are hopeless.
Renata, can I please have some coffee?
Please, don't eat the
The
soup.
establishment is self-service, so you make your own.
Oh, that's right. I don't like to eat sweets without tea. Can I?
I need the morphogenetic field here where I can tell myself, the soup is poison, don't eat the soup. That sounded pretty funny, because she said it with her mouth full of candy.
Yes, I wouldn't mind that either. Need to warm up. Would you do it?
Renata got up from a chair and headed silently into the kitchen. After sipping some wine, I grabbed a plate of cheese slices. I don't like wine, but in combination with cheese, I liked it. In 5 minutes, Renata returned to us carrying a small teapot on a tray and separately several mugs of coffee. Now we can have some sweets and drink to cheer us up. I'm feeling it's going to be a long night yet. Agatha was acting quieter than usual. She was slowly eating her soup. No! Which gave off a strange aroma, but I couldn't tell what the strange additive was. Amelia continued her barbs for the others. Amanda, on the other hand, sat with her legs tucked against her chest and held a hot cup with her hands.
So what are we going to do? Just go to bed?
I personally am very tired. It wouldn't hurt to get some sleep.
We gotta take care of Martin. He still ain't doing too good. I can watch over him at night.
I wanted to get involved somehow too, but what could I do? I could stay up all night.
You gonna guard us?
No sooner had I answered Amelia than suddenly Agatha started coughing, trying to swallow another spoonful of soup. No!
What's the matter? Did you get a hair? What are you doing?
And now she's eating slowly, so maybe there's a way that she could survive this. But Agatha choked beyond belief. She clutched at her throat, her watery eyes begging for help, but she could say nothing.
Are you choking?
What is this?
God, no! No! I like Agatha! Agatha pushed off the table and fell on all fours. I realized with horror that she could not breathe. The girl was in great pain. Her legs shook and blood mixed with stomach juice spurted out of her open mouth. It's a scary sight. In a second, the girl collapsed dead and everything stopped. There was silence. Agatha lay face down in a pool of her own blood, and there was nothing we could do to help her. Amanda stepped close to the lifeless body and abruptly turned away. She was twisted with gagging and covering her mouth with the palm of her hand.
Did she choke and die?
Silly girl, don't be stupid. The soup was poison. It's obvious.
Oh, how?
Amelia's rude, but she's right. Someone deliberately poisoned the soup. Agatha was killed, and she recognized I was poisoned immediately, too. Renata offered me this poison, but I refused. Turns out that I myself handed her this plate, and that signed the death sentence. Although how was I to know? I could have been lying in her place. Should have
Who
been.
made this poison?
I mean, that soup is basic as hell. Everybody been slurping it up all day.
I bet they're all dead too. What did you put in it? Huh? Answer me.
This is unlikely. The poison worked very quickly, which means the soup was poisoned later. After all, the customers were fine, right?
Everyone looked at Renata. Her hands were shaking and in her eyes read incomprehension.
Ain't nobody had nothing to say about the soup today. I did everything I was supposed to, like always. I don't get it.
I missed a line here, sorry. Either she was in shock or it was time to give an Oscar for that kind of act. Renata replied, practically sobbing. We ate and drank something that was not cooked. It turns out that all suspicion falls on Renata, but I can't believe she could have done it.
It turns out that anyone could have gotten into the kitchen, especially when the lights went out.
Yeah, like you.
You, why are you frozen? Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, that should have been me. I don't know yet, but I didn't get a chance to speak. I was interrupted by Alexander and raised command tone.
I see. You don't know, but I do know. The killer is among us.
Yep. What is he saying?
There are clear instructions by statute at such times. We must stick together until he's discovered.
Sorry, but still, who do you think it is?
And maybe it's all coincidences.
Everyone like me looked at Amanda with surprise. She clearly didn't want to believe the maniac existed.
Of course, we had no way of foreseeing the basement in the old house will be flooded and there will be a short circuit. Yes, the explosion was due to negligence, but...
You really think it's an accident? And the food poisoning? I ain't do that. But the soup was definitely tainted.
Yeah, I mean, maybe all the other things you can explain as... You can't... No. You can't explain the girl being stabbed multiple times as an accident. The other two deaths, maybe. But the stabbing and the poisoning, no. It's definitely a killer. Renata looked at everyone in disbelief, and Alexander continued.
Don't interrupt. Luck and chance has nothing to do with it. Someone intentionally did all this, and we are the next. Divide and conquer. The killer wants to divide and destroy us one by one, but he won't succeed while I'm with you.
I don't know, he's doing a pretty good job right now. Alexander looked at his watch.
Okay, we'll leave until morning. And tomorrow, it will be over, and we'll find the bastard.
Justin is still missing. He could have pulled this off, right? We need to find him.
Yeah, he very well could have. I talked about that earlier, but
I think he's already dead. It's such a storm outside. If he could come back, he'd have been sitting here a long time ago.
What about Martin? When did you rule him out as a possible murderer?
when it looks like I got clinked over the head with a bottle.
You blew yourself up by accident? Or something?
Alexander slapped his hand on the table so that the plates rattled.
No and no again. They were both blown up. He survived by a miracle. One of you's a killer. I can feel it. Here's the contract. Enough of these games. Stay here. I give you an order.
Can we try to turn on the generator again?
No, I don't allow it. We can't be separated anymore.
Smart.
We will all stay in the building by the fireplace in full view of each other. Is that clear?
Smart.
And who you think you are trying to give me orders? I ain't staying here with you, personally.
Because I'm the ranking officer. If you want to survive, then listen to me.
What you doing here? Trying to impose martial law or something?
Alexander's hand slammed powerfully into the wall. There was a thud. For a moment, I thought even the wall trembled, penetrating every stone.
Silence and obey orders. It's for your own good.
Listen up, Serge, or whatever you go by. Kick rocks.
Freeze!
Renata made an insulting gesture to Alexander, after which she stormed out of her seat and headed toward the kitchen.
Are you out of your mind?
Amelia twirled a finger at her temple, showing her distrust of Alexander, and headed after her. Dana, who had long since moved to the fireplace, got up from her chair and said it was a little stuffy in here. Then she too followed the stairs upstairs. Apparently the plan was not to split up, wasn't to her liking. Amanda, who had not uttered a word since Agatha died, stood up almost silently and headed for the kitchen. Oh my god, what do I do here? Alright, I'm going to put a pause here. Seems like a good natural stopping point. Much love to you all my friends. Thank you for everything. Once again, thank you Vivi for this amazing experience so far. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you Connor for posting in the comment section, and of course Azappa. And everyone else who I might have missed, but I really do appreciate you guys. Let me know, who do you think the murderer is out of all of these? It still could be Justin. I mean, he's very nondescript because he didn't have any color on him or anything. He is a policeman, so he would know how to possibly do all this. There's Martin, whose face is half gone. There is Amelia, who seems to be targeting one of Renata. But then again, Renata could be a framing Amelia. But she was inside of everyone the moment the lights went out. So that's a possibility of why she's innocent. Linda's dead. Dana's been sort of flying under the radar. I haven't really felt anything one way or another about her. And of course, Amanda, who likes us a lot, but then again is very suspicious. And Agatha, unfortunately, who's dead. Yeah. Tell me what you guys think. But for now, we have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day. And until next time, so long. And take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.